this is going to be my comparison between my new Kawasaki KRX 1000 and my 2018 RZR 1000 XP. I just got back from Quartzsite, Arizona doing some trail riding for 5 days into Kawasaki. The first couple of days I took it easy, just going slowly to break it in. And then on the other 3 days I was just driving it normally. And it is completely different type of ride than my 4-seat RZR, and it's also different from my son-in-law's 2-seat RZR. That's a 2019, and I've driven them all. I have to say the Kawasaki, the first day I drove it, I was kind of like, it is so different. I was like, wow, this is so much different than the RZR. I was wondering if I made the right choice. But on the second day, I took it out for a real long ride and I got used to it. And then I can honestly say this is now my favorite side-by-side, the best one I've ever owned. The suspension is on a different level than the RZR. My 4-seat has shock therapy springs and shock therapy valving done to it, and it is really plush. But the stock Kawasaki is even plusher. I was going around 58 miles an hour on these trails with huge bumps in them and ruts, and it just soaked them up, and it was so confidence building. It was like unreal. I could not go that fast in my RZR. It would jar you on those bigger hits. I still like my RZR. I'm taking it out again to Quartzsite tomorrow for about a month. I'm gonna go camping with some friends. I did not want to bring the Kawasaki back with me, but when I go camping for that long with friends, I give them rides around Quartzsite to the trails, to the gold mines and old rock cabins. So as much as I wanted to keep my Kawasaki there, I decided to come back and take the 4-seat RZR. I've done a lot of work to this with the suspension. I got PRP seats in it. The suspension, I got high lift arms on it for the trails, and I did like this the best. I had a RS1 for a year and I got rid of it to buy this Kawasaki. The RS1 was terrible on trails. It probably going really good at going fast on the desert, but for trail riding on the rocks, it was terrible. I tried getting that thing sorted out with shock therapy and it helped, but it was just the ride was bad. The wheelbase is too short and you sit in the middle and it's rocking you from side to side, unlike the 2-seaters or 4-seaters. And I'm getting up there in age, so it might be a little bit me too with my stomach issue, getting nauseous in it. But I do not get nauseous or feel sick at all in the regular side-by-sides. But the Kawasaki is unbelievable for how I drive and what I'm using it for. I love it. I let my daughter take it out for an hour or so with her sister. Her sister drove the 2-seater. She took this out and she came back about an hour and a half later smiling, saying how much she enjoyed it. She said, "Dad, this is the best side-by-side I've ever driven." And she's driven my 4-seat. She's driven her husband's 4-seater in that 2-seater. And she loves this. So yeah, she's really happy. The only issue I have that I really can call an issue is the sound it makes. The engine noise is a different kind of pitch than on the RZRs. And I was wearing some headphones and it cut a lot of the engine noise down, so it made it a lot better. But the first day I didn't have any any ear protection, and it was kind of loud for me. I took off my front windshield. I bought that glass windshield, and the dust in Arizona desert, it just sucked it right into the cab, and it was really bad. So we took the front windshield off, and it was a lot better. No more dust inside the cabin. I ordered a Super ATV flip-up windshield, and it arrived already, but I'm not going to put it on and let my son-in-law put it on. But that'll help a lot, having it flipped up for in the dusty conditions and down if you're riding through the streets or something. But yeah, the cockpit is really nice and comfortable. You got plenty of room. The shifting takes a little to get used to because it's opposite the RZR. Also, the parking brake is like really, for me, it's forgetful. I keep on forgetting to let it off or take it off, but the control screen will flash that your parking brake is on. But I just have to keep remembering to release it and to put it on, because you know the RZR's got to park, which is, I think, it's all right. The seat belts are really good. I've never owned a side-by-side with retractable heads seat belts harness, and these make a big difference. The stereo I bought, you can't really hear it. I bought a GPS. I bought these PRP bags for it. I also have some PRP bags I have to put on that goes on the roof on each side for storage. What else? I came back home and I bought the bumpers additions, and they look really cool. Yeah, and I got the wide fenders. I just put the front bumper on today, the upper part. That looks cool. But yeah, this Kawasaki is phenomenal. If Kawasaki comes out with a 4-seat side-by-side like this, the RZR is going bye-bye, and I'm going to buy a 4-seat Kawasaki side-by-side, the KRX. But I just cannot tell you stock how nice that suspension is. My son-in-law was into racing, and he was on a pit team, some desert racing years ago, and he was following me, and he's saying he's watching my suspension, how it was moving, and he was like impressed. I let him take it out, and he came back like 30 minutes later, and look on his face, he wants one, but my daughter won't let him get one. I told him I'll let him like drive this one. That'll help please him a little bit. But I'm just trying to find some negatives of this car that I don't like, and there just aren't many. Just the engine noise is annoying a little bit. Other than that, there's nothing I do not like about it. I went to a trail, went to this petroglyphs, and there was a bunch of cars up there, and they all came over and asked me about it, and they were looking at it, and some of the guys said, "Oh, I want to get one of these," and I was explaining how good the suspension is, and they were really impressed, and they weren't going up to other cars looking at them, just as Kawasaki. And yeah, I am really happy with it. And the RZR, I still am happy with it. It's just completely a different type of ride. And I'm gonna go out there, like I said, tomorrow, take it for 30 days and give people rides, and see what happens. I'm definitely gonna keep it until Kawasaki makes a 4-seater. But I just love this Kawasaki. I can't believe how much I like it. It just is so smooth on these trails with rocks. I mean, big old rocks. I experimented with the four-wheel drive low with that switch. Some people complaining and say, "Oh, I don't know why they have this, and it's a waste of time, and Kawasaki should take it off." Bullshit. There's this real steep climb with rocks, and it curves, not straight, it curves around, it's really steep, and I was at the bottom of it, and I've gone up in my 4-seater, and you're bouncing around, my foot was bouncing on the throttle, even though I try to support it against the tunnel, and it's jerky, and you're going back and forth, and I said, okay, I'm gonna try it on the Kawasaki. I put it in 4-wheel drive, not lock, put it in low, put the switch on low, and I just floored it, and it limited the power. And my daughter was behind me watching, or my son-in-law, and they watched me go up it, and it was smooth as can be, no jerky, nothing. It just went right up it. And my daughter came up, she said, "I thought you guys weren't going to make it because you're going so slow." I said, "No, it's the slow drive." And my son-in-law goes, "No, that's how it's designed to do it." And it just crawled up that rocky climb with absolutely no problem, no bouncing around, no jerking forward and back. Just unbelievable. I could not believe it. And I've gone up that rocky trail in many different side-by-sides, my 4-seater and my 2-seater and my RS1, and they don't compare. So anybody who says that low drive is a waste of time, they're just not using it like it's supposed to be used. But yeah, I can't think of anything else about this machine. It is just awesome. I am so happy I picked it out, because I went to the dealer to get this fixed. Fuel pump went bad on it, and I went and sat in one of these with my son-in-law, and I'm like, I just got to get one of these. So right then and there, I made my mind up and bought it. And the accessories are draining my pocketbook though. Everything's an accessory on these things. Plus that one's draining me too. But yeah, anybody who is on the sidelines or wondered if you should buy it, I would not hesitate. I would buy this again over any other side-by-side. Even the Robbie Gordon UTV, that's super good, I know, but it's wide, and it's too wide for trail riding what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, if you're worried about the weight and it only has 112 horsepower, I wouldn't. I was going faster on these trails than I've ever been, going almost 60 miles an hour on these really rough trails with bumps and whoops and you name it. And I was like, I could not believe it. I would never go that fast in the RZR, that 4-seat, that's for sure. Maybe the 2-seat, I don't know. But the Kawasaki is so confidence inspiring. Man, I tell you, Kawasaki, they did it right on that suspension in this car. It's heavy, but it holds the ground. And I just love it. So that's my biased opinion of this Kawasaki. And you might have different opinions, but I'm not changing mine. I love this side-by-side.